Good morning, YouTube. It's Techno Viking 23 coming at you this morning from the tower, watching this, I guess, beautiful sunrise. I'm not sure. It could be sunset, but since it's around 6 a.m. here, I'm going to say it's the sunrise. So, give me a nice little view of the city here. And it's Friday, so Zur is here in the tower. It's time to go check out and see what our good friend has brought us this week. Now, a lot of you guys know last week Zur was pretty disappointing with no land beyond and his rather lackluster selection of exotic armor, and once again his lack of heavy ammo synthesis. So this morning Zur's kind of hiding over here by the speaker, and we're going to check out and see what he's got today. So right off the bat, Dragon's Breath, really? Oh my god, okay. So, again, Mark 44 stand-asides. These are a Titan leg exotic. And unless you PvP quite a bit with your Titan, you run in shoulder charge, these are pretty much not that great. If you're looking for a first exotic for a Titan, I'd pass. But they do have heavy weapon ammo that increases the amount of heavy weapon ammunition you can carry. So that's an okay perk. But their main benefit is be somewhere else. Increase the duration of your shoulder charge. Which, if you like to use shoulder charge a lot, I guess you would like these. 134 strength roll, so these are going to mainly fit into a melee build. But again, not a great exotic, so personally I would pass on these, save your coins. Hunters, you've got Don't Touch Me gauntlets. These are actually pretty decent, I think. I have these, or had these on my 28 Hunter. I have them in the vault. So it increases reload speed of special weapons. So if you use snipers, fusion rifles, shotguns quite a bit, that's helpful. And you get more super energy from killing minions of the darkness. That's always a good perk. And then defensive reflex. So taking damage from melee attack makes you briefly turn invisible. This is a pretty neat little perk. It's great if you get whacked by a thrall and there's a bunch trying to swarm you. You'll turn invisible. They won't be able to see you, so you can kind of back off. Not very useful in PvP, but pretty useful in the PvE. So these are pretty decent. If you're a hunter, if you need an exotic for, you know, I would maybe purchase those. But again, you want to prioritize the helms if you're a hunter. Those are always going to be a little bit better. But that's pretty decent. And Warlocks, again, we have Starfire Protocol. I think this is the third time he's had this since the DLC came out. So, additional fusion grenade. That does not stack, by the way, with the Warlock Sunsinger perk. So you won't get 3. You'll still just get 2. Heavy weapon ammo. That's a decent perk. And then increase the amount of fusion rifle ammunition you can carry. This is an okay exotic for Warlocks. It's basically their version of the Armentarium. So if you want more heavy weapon ammo and you like to use fusion rifles and you're a Sunsinger, that's a pretty good exotic. And then we come to the most disappointing thing, Dragon's Breath. I already have this rocket launcher. It's okay. It's a decent rocket launcher if you want to use it for strike bosses because of the one perk it's got. It looks cool. Looks like an old World War II bomber. And you just take a look at some of the perks here. Now, it can hold 3 shells. That's a pretty good perk. But this has no tracking. It has no cluster bombs, no proximity detonation. You get more velocity here, more blast radius. The main perk here is Pyromancer. Rounds fired from this weapon leave solar flare upon detonation. So if you use a Sunsinger and you have the solar flare grenade, you know what this will do. Basically, when this rocket explodes, it leaves a solar flare that burns for a few seconds and causes some damage over time to the boss. It's an okay perk, but most of the time they will walk right out of it right away. So you're not going to get a lot of sustained damage on them with it. Now, if you want to fire all 3 rockets at once, you can get some decent burst damage out of this weapon. But I don't think it's worth occupying an exotic slot when you can carry something like Surus Regime or Red Death or a better primary. So unless you're just desperate for a rocket launcher, I would pass. This is number 3 on the exotic rocket launcher list to me, behind Yalahorn and Truth. So I would go ahead and pass on this unless you just are collecting exotics. It's a decent, rocket launcher, but not the best. Alright, so for upgrades, he's got Mask of the Third Man, Young Ahamkara's Spine, Helm of the Inmost Light, Crest of Alpalupi, Skull of Dire Ahamkara, Sunbreakers, Surus Regime, I was lucky enough to get that last week, Thorn, Universal Remote, Pocket Infinity, Icebreaker, and Super Good Advice. And then he has hand cannon telemetry, fusion rifle telemetry, rocket launcher telemetry, plasma drive, and emerald coil. So if you guys have a rare level Sparrow you want to upgrade to a legendary, you can blow 23 coins on that, because honestly there's not much else to buy this week. And he's got a glove engram. I may try to save up for that since he doesn't have it. I'm not going to be purchasing anything else he's got this week. And an exotic shard for 7 strange coins. So overall I'd say this is pretty, kind of crappy week for Xur again, 2 in a row. Obviously it's not No Land Beyond. He's got a better weapon, but this is a pretty bad week for Titans. Hunters, like I said, this is hit or miss. If you're running like a melee up close build, you may want to take a look at this, but there's obviously much better exotics out there. Warlock, this is an okay choice, but again, Dragon's Breath, I'd pass. Plus I think a lot of us have gotten that as a drop. That seems to be one of the most popular exotic drops since the DLC came out. But anyways, everybody hoping for Yalahorn. Yep, another week of disappointment. Personally, I was actually hoping he'd have that. And again, no heavy ammo synthesis. So I'm curious as to why that is. I have a theory on that. I think because, Destiny's a great game, don't get me wrong, but ever since the DLC came out, they've put in a lot of different things to increase the grind and level and make you have to play a little bit more to get things. And they know, hard mode Crota came out, everybody needs that heavy ammo for that boss fight. They know it. And they want you to play the game more. So the only current way to get it right now is either to go to Eris or to go to Banshee 44 and pay almost 1,000 Glimmer a heavy ammo cake. So what my thought on that is basically they understand that people are going to want that heavy ammo. So instead of letting Xur sell it for 1 strange coin and you being able to pick up a ton of it at once when he comes on a Friday, instead, they want you to have to grind some Glimmer and grind some Black Wax Idols and then go to Eris and use Banshee 44 and try to make those vendors in the tower a little bit more usable. Plus, they increase the amount of time you've got to play the game, which for them is always good, because most of us, some people, minority will get frustrated with that and they'll eventually quit, but a lot of us, we like the game and we want to play the content and we want to get what we need to play the content, so we're going to continue to grind and play and, go farm Glimmer wherever you farm it. And that's just my theory. That's probably, not, it's probably crap, but whatever, that's just what I think about it. And I think there's no coincidence that since the new raid came out, he hasn't been carrying the heavy weapon synthesis, because that just makes it really easy for people to get that. And, they added in the Vanguard commendations, the Crucible commendations. They increased the price of all the Crucible and Vanguard gear, raising the armor prices. So whereas you used to be able to get more of it faster, now it takes you a little bit longer. Plus, you've got the commendation block as well, so if you don't have a commendation, you can't purchase the gear. So they've just, they've put in a couple things very, I don't want to say sneakily, but, they're definitely, in my opinion, they're definitely trying to increase the overall grind and amount of time it takes to gain gear in the game. So that's my theory on why Xur is not carrying heavy weapon synthesis anymore. But again, that could be total crap. I don't know. It's just my thoughts. Anyways, guys, it's been TechnoViking23 here. Another disappointing week for Xur in the tower. So let me know what you guys think of his inventory. Let me know if you plan on buying anything from him this week. I think I'm going to pass and hang on to my coins, and again, hope he's got something next week. So anyways, guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. Leave your comments below, and I will see you again next time.